Putting up. Oh,
Great.
sorry, something just happened. Instagram. All right, we'll just go. Okay, we are live actually. Dan,
Great.
sure. How are you? It's great to see you.
I'm great. Nice to see you as well.
Yes,
Thanks for having me here again.
absolutely. Yeah, we're always. I was just saying that I need to get jackets like when you've hosted SNL 5 times because I think this may be your
Uh,
fifth Newport Interactive Marketing.
is it?
Um,
Oh, wow.
we're
Well, I appreciate
close.
that. Yeah, I appreciate the repeat invites and the ability to talk with everyone.
Yeah,
It's
no,
fun.
it's great to have your wisdom. I feel like you've been on the front lines of search engine optimization since the dawn of SEO.
Yeah, I think, when I think about the timeline of SEO, definitely since around 2008, 2009, I think I was probably not a part of that like initial core, like super early, group of people. But definitely for a while at this point.
Yeah, which is good. And we initially met at some conference in New York City.
Yeah,
But I can't. But those the New Englanders, we find each other even in New York City.
right. I remember. Yeah, I got a free ticket or something, or I was speaking at one of the like conference booths or something like that in 2011, I think.
Was
So
it maybe Blog World?
it wasn't Blog World. It was like it wasn't SMX, but it like
Oh,
SES or
SES.
something.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's been a long time. Yes.
Blast from the past.
Yeah. Well, and you have since then grown your reputation to be, I mean, you're in Rand Fishkin's book. You've
That's
spoken at
true.
tons of conferences like
Mhm.
Social Media Marketing World. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Content marketing world, social media marketing world, SMX at one point. It's been a while. Once COVID kicked in, I stopped doing conferences and I haven't done any since then, but hope to get back out there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this works out as a great format. And I was interesting thinking of sort of explaining last night, actually. My brother's at a big conference in San Diego, and it was making me think about um, social media marketing world. And I
Yep.
was like, oh yeah, I haven't gone back out there either. But you get
Yeah.
so much information in such a short period of time. One of
hmm
the reasons why I started NIM was to really hone in on one thing a month. Like, let's pick something in marketing that we're really going to dive into and
Yeah.
then walk away and be able to apply those
Yeah.
learnings. And we've done 10 years of events. It's been more than 10
Wow.
years. We took a little hiatus during COVID.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's just, I think that this is a good way to do it where it's virtual. Sometimes we meet in person, but for the most
hmm
part, we're going to stay virtual. And to have these top notch speakers. Last time we had you, you helped me put together a whole panel on
Oh, yeah.
SEO. And yeah, that was still during COVID high times. And we had a really good turnout for that. It worked
Yep.
out great.
Yep.
And yeah, the
Remember.
goal really is to just have enough takeaways that it makes sense, right? That you like come away from the talk and it's layered so that whether you're a newbie or you're someone like you or me, there's always something that you can learn. Like there's beginner and advanced tips. But
Yep.
this month, in 2 weeks at noon on Thursday, the 29th, is it? Yeah, it must be. The 29th, we're going to do a deep dive with slides and lots of actionable insights on YouTube.
Yes.
I'm really
Yeah.
excited. So tell
Yeah.
me from your background in SEO, how does that translate into YouTube?
So people will say YouTube is the second biggest search engine. I think that fact is actually debatable. I think it's from recent years I've read it, maybe might be a little more propaganda from Google. But
That never
the thing
happens.
is YouTube is still owned by Google and it still has a search component and it definitely has an algorithmic discoverability component to it as well. So, I mean, when I first got into the YouTube optimization side of things, it was just simply stumbling into it because clients I was working with on SEO over their websites and Google had YouTube channels. And YouTube is a really powerful, fantastic, high opportunity platform to gain visibility in because it's still some of the social media platforms don't have the level of organic discoverability that they used to. Certainly, like Facebook doesn't have that. Instagram doesn't really have that, with some exceptions, right? Reels and things like that. But YouTube is still a platform where you can grow organically from inside of the platform.
Hmm.
Um, and so that, to me, when I'm working with clients and businesses, if just because it's not Google, if there's another platform that they can grow their channel and grow their business with, I'm going to see what I can do to help them with that platform. So the thing about YouTube, which, like I said, is like such high opportunity for visibility, is it's not just SEO, right? It's not just YouTube search, but there's a really huge opportunity to show up as recommended
Mm,
and show up on the homepage of YouTube. And nowadays with shorts, that's a whole other new opportunity as well, which has only existed in the last few years. So, um, hopefully people that have businesses and maybe have a YouTube channel, or if they don't have a YouTube channel, they should have a YouTube channel.
right.
Hopefully they'll get excited and enthusiastic about leveraging YouTube, because a lot of people will say it's saturated. A lot of people will say that you can't grow a channel or it's too hard nowadays. And that's definitely not true, especially with shorts now. Even in so called saturated niches or areas, YouTube rewards new channels that come along that are doing something maybe new or different or helpful in some new way. I mean,
Interesting.
yeah, I could rattle off tons of new channels that have come about in the last few years, that have just skyrocketed to over 1 million subscribers and high view counts, etc. Even in saturated areas.
Hmm.
So that's why I think YouTube's really exciting, and hopefully people get enthusiastic about that and want to show up in 2 weeks to kind of learn more, because we're going to go into like the actual specifics of how to gain that kind of visibility in YouTube.
I can't wait. It's going to be really good. And I
Yeah.
think too, from in my household, YouTube is a go-to discoverability for entertainment.
Yes.
So I'm wondering, will we have time to talk about how businesses can leverage that? Do they have to dress up their employees in pink shirts or something to try to?
So it's interesting you mentioned that too, because my wife and I have found that some of our evening viewing has shifted from Netflix to a handful of YouTube channels
Mm,
that we like. And a stat that I learned from one of my colleagues, where I'm a consultant over at WGBH, Boston's NPR channel,
yeah.
is that YouTube TV is the second most highest place where people consume YouTube. So it's the
Wow.
phone, then YouTube TV, and then desktop. I think it's like 30% of people watching YouTube watch on YouTube TV. So, just piggybacking off of that observation that you have, that YouTube being such a huge entertainment place, and
Hmm.
one that's kind of come into the living room, so to speak, as well.
Hmm.
But even
Right.
though that's the case, not all YouTube viewing is like that. If you're a business, maybe you're a plumber, or maybe you sell appliances, or like if you're a business, you can still do educational, how-to content that helps attract buyers of your products, etc. So it doesn't have to be entertainment, but we can definitely get into and talk about how the entertainment aspect of YouTube comes into play, even if you're a business thinking
Hmm.
about what you should publish.
Yeah. Well, and I think there's so much room for how to's, for reviews. We've been doing a lot of reviews, like here's why you would why you would pick this, like why you would be interested in this. This is versatile, this is that. And
I
just
like
having
product
that,
reviews.
yeah, just having that explained from like a person, right? As opposed
Hmm.
to reading yeah, and I think also the how to's are good. I think a plumber could have a really fun, entertaining YouTube channel.
Yeah. And the other layer on all this now is what is happening with Google and AI and SEO, meaning that we're seeing Google layer in a new feature that they're calling perspectives. And what perspectives is in Google search is short form video clips,
Hmm.
sometimes from TikTok, sometimes from YouTube. And so the other huge opportunity for YouTube is ranking YouTube videos in Google. And so I'll talk about it as well in 2 weeks. But a lot of YouTube channels I've worked with recently get a lot of their views from Google, which is
Nice.
quite interesting. And then
Right.
you're also hitting upon something really important, like in the day and age now of AI, where I can go to ChatGPT, or even if you're in Google's labs where they're beta testing their AI search engine, I can go there, and I've gotten into the habit of this as a consumer myself, going to those AI chatbots and asking them. I went and asked it the other day, what are some of the quickest ways to do snow removal, like at your house? Because we were supposed to get this 12-inch snowstorm that ended up
Hair
being
dryer.
an inch, right? Um, so, but I find myself going, well, I'm going to get a quicker answer from ChatGPT because it's going to just like package it for me, and I can ask it updates and converse with it. But where I'm going with all that is, because of that, video content becomes more important when text-based information is now literally just a commodity,
Right.
right? Even these sort of how-tos, because now ChatGPT is incorporating data from Bing. It'll search Bing. It'll go off and kind of compile an answer and bring the answer back to you. And there was just an announcement about how ChatGPT is going to actually maybe more build like a search engine.
Mm.
So the whole point with that is, if you're a business and you want to reach people with any kind of content, educational content, entertainment content, inspirational content, to differentiate yourself and to still win in Google and win in YouTube and win in TikTok, video is really, really important because it's the only way to really compete with commoditized text content.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a new world.
Right. I know. It seemed, well, I mean, if you think about it, since the beginning, right? Since I started in digital marketing, it was like, okay, article spinning and getting content out and gaming
Yeah.
the system, and then social media comes along, and then you multimedia, YouTube, and so it's just the next chapter, right? And just thinking about how to be smart about it. And I think being smart about marketing now is actually really honing in and understanding your fundamentals,
Yes.
because if you're all over the place, right, it's too easy for everybody to be all over the place. Now your messaging has to be spot on,
Mm-hmm.
exactly who you're targeting, what you want them to do, right? Those calls to action are really important, right? Because now
Yes.
there's just such a proliferation of content, it's going to be hard to really stand out. But
Yeah.
creative content is something
Mm-hmm.
that I hope that the algorithms will always have a challenge keeping up with.
Yes. And there's not only should you streamline your messaging and your calls to action, but doing video gives you the ability to like publish a video on YouTube, then clip it and make a short out of it, then even take that short, make a TikTok out of it,
Mm-hmm.
then take the YouTube video, embed it on your website on a blog post or something, and then that video can rank in Google, the article can rank in Google. So video, I think, is one thing that can help just sort of synergize and streamline all the content marketing for
Right.
businesses as well.
Yep.
Even if you're a one person small local business,
Mm-hmm.
um, I know people have been saying this forever now, but the classic, you can take your phone and just record a simple video, but then that video can turn into 10
Right.
pieces of content. I work with a precious metals company that I've worked with for like 4 or 5 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was down there in Florida, that's where they're located, in the Tampa area. I was in their office, and I just made like 10 little short form vertical videos with my phone with one of the precious metals experts. I just had him sit at his desk, and I just cued him on topics and recorded like minute videos.
Yep.
I've posted 3 of those on a brand new TikTok channel where they have no followers. And the first 2 videos got just over 2,000 views. So, yeah,
Nice.
about 2,000 views. And then the third video got about 800. Um, and that's no brand new channel, right?
Right.
So,
Right. There's no traction.
and it was easy to create because if you are an expert or you have an expert in your company, it literally is as simple as sitting them down with a phone, cueing them on like a 1 minute question to give an
Yep.
answer to. Yeah. And now, just literally today, we gained access to the YouTube channel. So I'm going to take those TikToks just exactly the way they are and make YouTube shorts out of them.
Perfect.
Yeah. So, and then we're going to look at like, how do we embed these on the website? Or we're actually going to take one of the videos and pull one of the answers from it and add it to an existing blog post in text form.
Yep.
Because the
Sorry.
dog really likes that idea. Because we realized we hadn't answered that question actually on their blog. So, anyways, that just illustrates how super easy it is. You know, if you have something to say and you can be helpful or entertaining for your target audience, and then piggyback on the natural sort of algorithmic virality or visibility that you can get from the platforms that are still giving that to you.
Yeah, I think content stacking, right, and having the tools to spin them around pretty quickly. It's interesting because I did a lot of these through the pandemic, and
Mm,
there are the tools that have actually gotten much better. Like there's a whole interstitial piece that I was like, oh, we don't need this anymore, and now we don't need this anymore. And
yeah.
one of the things we're doing is going through the NIM, what I call the roadmap, and tracking what still works, what doesn't, what can we use with AI, just to speed
Mm-hmm.
things up and get out there. But I think I it's there's a ton of great tools out there, but I'm really looking forward to part of the magic of live, right?
Mm-hmm.
And being, when we do our deep dive, it's in a Zoom room and everybody gets the chance to ask questions and things like that. So it
Yep.
can be really helpful to be live present with Dan because he knows so much and is willing to share all his deep dark SEO and YouTube secrets for the most part.
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah. I usually don't hide much.
Yes, transparency is key. And I think
Mm-hmm.
actually in the NIM community, we have a lot of really great people who are giving away their IP. One of our most popular talks is open mic tip nights,
Oh
and
yeah. Yep.
everybody just throws out their tips. And but this is a deep dive. This is something special that Dan is putting together
Cool.
specifically for NIM, and I'm super excited to dive in deep in 2 weeks.
Awesome.
Okay. Well, thanks so much, Dan. And we will see you soon. Anybody wants to RSVP for our event coming up on YouTube, you can go to newportinteractivemarketing.com and sign up for the invites. And then we'll make sure to get you on the guest list. Thanks, Dan.
You bet.